Jump into NXT Takeover R Evolution. It's going to be happening this Thursday, December 11th. And
is that how they're pronouncing it? I thought it was supposed to be. It's supposed to visually be a play, but it's supposed to be Revolution.
No, it's
the other way around.
It is R Evolution from. I don't think I've heard WWE say it. They might have. But I know I just listened to Jericho's podcast. He interviewed Sami Zayn and Neville, and they called it R Evolution. So
okay, so it's play the other way.
Yeah, yeah. So we got a full card. As far as I can tell, we've got 4 matches, but a lot of potential additions. So we're gonna get into everything real quickly. But right now, let's do the official card. The 4 that have been announced is Hideo Itami and Finn Balor. I'm sorry, is it Balor?
Balor, yeah.
Versus the Ascension. The tag team championships will be on the line between the Lucha Dragons and the Vaudevillians. We've also got the women's championship, Charlotte versus Sasha Banks, and the NXT championship, Adrian Neville versus Sami Zayn. So out of those 4, which match are you most looking forward to, Nick?
It is a tough one. Right now, I think I might say the main event, Neville versus Zayn. There's just a really good story going on there. We saw a completely different side of Zayn this past week, and there's always the looming specter of what Kevin Owens will do on his debut.
What about you, Joe?
Yeah, I mean, Neville Zayn looks like it's going to be a tremendous match. I'm a big fan of tag team wrestling, so I mean, either tag team match is going to be awesome. But I'm going to go with Hideo Itami and Finn Balor against the Ascension, just to really get to see them in the ring just go balls out. I'm excited for that.
Yeah, just looking at this card, I personally cannot come up with one that I'm more looking forward to over another. There's just so much going on as far as the just every single story has just been fantastic. Just the build for the tag team championships, just seeing all the different tag teams involved, plus what Hideo Itami and Finn Balor are doing with the Ascension. The women's championship has been an awesome title race. And then, yeah, Nick, like what you said about Sami Zayn, like seeing this side of Sami Zayn, showing that he can be angry and, almost ruthless to go after Adrian. I think, overall, this is a stacked card. They've built it incredibly well. So, let's just start. Let's start with some predictions and just overall thoughts on the build thus far. We'll start at the bottom. Hideo Itami and Finn Balor versus the Ascension. First, who do you got? And just your general thoughts on this match. Nick?
I think Itami and Balor are going to pull out the win here. It seems like this is what they've been aiming for a while. And even though the Ascension haven't really been present all that much lately, and you might expect them to be the last. Well, let's rephrase that. Balor and Itami are clearly on top right now, and given the whole 50-50 booking style, you would expect the Ascension to pull out a win here. But this seems like the right moment for this feud to end, and for Itami and Balor to go their separate ways. So, and I believe the Ascension are moving up soon anyway, so this will be a good way to, put the Ascension out of commission in NXT and give them an excuse to move, or a way to move up to the main roster.
I feel like we have said the same thing for the last 2 times we've talked about NXT. Is this?
And
this
Dolph is going to
to
cash in this pay-per-view.
Joe, your thoughts?
On this one, I think Nick's right that this is the time where the Ascension and Itami Balor, the story's going to end here. but I don't necessarily think that this will be a split between the two. It could. They could just go their separate ways, but they could also take on the Vaudevillains. We could see something develop there. It all depends on what they see the bigger picture for Hideo and Finn. I mean, if they actually think that they're going to keep them as a tag team, let's say for the main roster, then definitely they're going to keep them together here. But no, I think Itami and Baylor are going to win.
Yeah, there's definitely a good transition point here on a few different levels. With the Ascension possibly moving up to Raw, and I know we'll talk a bit about this coming up, but there's also been a lot of talk about the possibility of seeing both Sami Zayn and Adrian Neville going up soon too. So, sure you could keep Itami and Balor in the tag team division. There's definitely a lot of teams for them to compete against, but there also might be some room in the top title race, and I think that's where people will want them. Will want to see them. So for me, I'm looking at this. I was okay with the story. I thought the way it started was kind of awkward as far as the Ascension. They first attacked Hideo Itami. I really wasn't keen in on that. I didn't really like most of the story up until Itami partnered up with Balor, and then it seemed to really get interesting, just because it was less one-sided. So for me, I'm going to say Itami and Balor win. I'm not confident enough to say Ascension move up, but the opportunity is there for sure. So I think we're all in agreement, though, that Itami and Balor win. And just looking over the live chat as well, I think they're with us also. So Itami and Balor, yeah, I think everyone's calling for that, which is cool. Moving on from that, we've got the NXT Tag Team Championships, the Lucha Dragons versus the Vaudevillains, and a lot of hype lately about the Vaudevillains, especially, we had like those 2 awkward weeks when they changed the theme music, but now they're really getting into it seems, as far as, that heel mentality, and the video packages that they're doing over the last couple of weeks have been amazing. So yeah, a lot of hype with Vaudevillains right now. Do you guys see the Vaudevillains pulling out a win here and taking the titles home?
I do. It seems like they've got all the momentum on their side, and I don't think the Lucha Dragons strike me as a transitional team, but it seems like the Vaudevillains can do more with the titles right now. Since I am operating under the assumption that the Ascension won't be around much longer, so the Vaudevillains are basically the only heel tag team moving forward in the long term, I think. And you can easily turn Buddy and Murphy heel, but they don't have an established persona yet, whereas the Lucha Dragons and Enzo and Kaz do. And they're both face teams, so I think you just have more options with the Vaudevillains as camps.
Yeah, I think the Vaudevillains are going to win. I think they're on a good run, and it's not to say that there's not going to be a back and forth with the Lucha Dragons with the tag team titles. Just because we saw a hugely long run with the titles for the Ascension doesn't mean we're going to see any other team have a long run right away. We might see a little back and forth just to get some activity going in their tag team division before it sticks around on a team for a while. We've seen that a lot in the past with WWE teams where they just pass the title around.
Right.
And if done right, it can really develop interest in a division. I don't know if they have enough teams in order to necessarily do that like they would in the 80s, but we'll see.
Yeah, I just can't see the Lucha Dragons dropping so quickly. I mean, definitely the Vaudevillains would do well with the titles. I think they're in a good position for it. But just looking at, the build up towards the last special event, they lost a lot. They really didn't look completely strong during this build. So for them to win the titles, I don't know. I don't know. It's just I don't think they're strong enough. I don't think they're as believable as a tag team. You know, you have to remember that the Lucha Dragons took down the Ascension, who were like the top team for a long time. So they have that credibility. Vaudevillains don't as much yet. Like, yeah, they won this last, brief tournament, but I wouldn't say they look dominant in it.
Right, but I mean, it's not to say just because one team, it'd be like Brock Lesnar losing just because somebody snuck up and rolled them up. You don't have to be a dominant team to get a win.
Sure, but
you just have to be smart, and that's exactly what the Vaudevillains look like. Yeah, they look smart.
They're definitely as slimy as what's in their mustaches.
Yeah.
All the grease, all the oil,
all dead wax. So
those mustaches are stiff, not slimy.
Well, I mean, when you put the material in, it's kind of slimy, and then it stiffens up. So whatever. Anyway, I got my beer bomb. Shut the fuck up. But no, I think the Vaudevillains definitely could take them, and I just would love to see back and forth with the Lucha Dragons. Like a one-upsmanship kind of thing. I just think it would work. I think between these two teams, I think it would really work to give other teams a little more time to build up to work the division as well, the higher part of the division.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I mean, overall, we don't see a lot of back and forth like that. I mean, we did see that briefly with AJ and Paige with the Divas Championship on the main roster, but even that wasn't done well enough, I don't think. I think at this stage they could do it well, and they have a bunch of other tag teams that they could easily move into that position to keep it interesting, to keep it flowing. But that's not WWE style. So I'm gonna go with the Lucha Dragons retaining, just because it seems the trend is, both for NXT and WWE in general, is to have longer title reigns. And, the Lucha Dragons have been doing excellent work. So to take it off of them doesn't necessarily make a lot of sense to me. So. All right. Women's Championship. We've got Charlotte versus Sasha Banks. And I feel like this is the best title race happening right now, as far as the matches involved, as far as the stories involved. It seems like they are dedicating a lot of time and a lot of energy to this division, which is an awesome thing. So, Nick, do you agree with that? Do you like what they're doing with the Women's Championship, and who do you think is going to walk out with the title?
It's incredibly compelling, and I give NXT a lot of props for that. They really know how to do a women's division right, and I wish people on the main roster are taking notes, especially since it kind of looks like Charlotte's going to be making a move up soon, with her recent appearance on Raw. And that's partly the reason I'm forecasting a win by Sasha Banks. Charlotte's held the belt for a while now, and there hasn't been a whole lot that she's done with it since the feud with Bayley and she turned face. I think Sasha would bring more energy to the title, and not necessarily make it more interesting, because it is pretty interesting right now, but I think it does need a change. I think Charlotte needs to chase something again. So, yeah, I think the boss will become the champ.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you on that viewpoint, as far as the idea that they have put more focus in on the chase rather than the champion. But they still have made Charlotte look really good.
Yeah, she definitely looked strong in this last match against Mia Yim, which, by the way, I popped for that. It's technically a champ versus champ match.
Yeah.
And I do like that the crowd gave her props, too.
She was actually known as a local competitor. Just throwing it out there.
Yeah, it's a management throwing wrestlers under the bus, brother.
So, like you said, Nick, Charlotte, she made her quote-unquote debut on Raw this week. Definitely worth a watch if you haven't seen it already. But she got a fantastic reaction, I thought, overall. It seemed like the crowd was really into Charlotte. Lots of woo chants, so obviously people know who she is. So, Joe, after watching that, do you think the reaction she got is like Nick is suggesting, is going to suggest that Charlotte might be going up soon, and this might be her last time in NXT.
Oh yeah, just like how Sami Zayn's on the main roster after his great showing. Same with Neville.
Yeah.
They haven't been on Raw yet.
Yeah, they have.
When?
They had the focus.
Four-way.
Yeah, there was a 4-way. It was it was right before the last special, where it was Zayn,
Neville,
Tyson Kidd, and Tyler Breeze.
Yeah, I did forget about that.
Yeah, you did.
So did WWE. So.
No, I don't think. I think that showing on Raw was a test just to see what kind of reaction they get, and having her work, main roster. I think it was a good idea.
Right.
I don't necessarily think that they're going to bring her up just yet. I can definitely see them doing it because, let's be honest, I don't feel we have a lot of depth in our Divas division.
Right.
On the main roster. I think you have a lot more depth in the NXT division, women's division. So I could see moving them up, but I almost think that we have to wait until we get some more new talent started in the NXT women's division before we see Charlotte move up to the Divas division.
Yeah, and the only thing that like my counter to that, I totally agree with you, Joe. There isn't a lot of depth.
There's no point to counter me, jerk.
Well, but it's just that, WWE's devoted so much time to the divas that they do have. I mean, it doesn't show that. They don't show that on Raw. They aren't being put into good matches or good opportunities to show what they can do in the ring, but just the time that they devoted to Total Divas, they can't really get rid of the people that it would make sense to bring up new people for, to fill that void. I don't know how they would juggle that. I think they have already shot themselves in the foot, and they have to figure out how to get out of that hole that they've dug themselves in before they can bring up new people. So I'm with you. I feel like Charlotte would make a lot of sense, and really the entire NXT women's division would work really well as the quote unquote divas division. But I just don't see who they would let go or move to not being a fixture on Raw to do it.
I think part of it comes from, now they have 3 hours. Instead of doing recap, give some of that time, do a few women's matches.
Yeah. Make
the women, or get rid of the stipulation that women can only fight women and men can only fight men. That could open up a whole lot of possibility.
It could.
That's some indie shit. That has no place on WWE programming.
It won't happen, but
it won't happen. But I'm just saying it would be good because it would be interesting to see, Bayley versus Brock Lesnar. I love Bayley. I think she's great in the ring, but I don't think that she's ready for the main roster. In that she, I don't get the feeling that the NXT crowd fully gets her intro or
what? No, they totally are behind Bayley.
She always just seems awkward, like
that's a gimmick, bro.
Yeah.
It just looks terrible to me. It really does. To me, it hurts her character.
All right, Alex Riley.
She redeems herself in the ring. I just think her ring entrance is poor.
I remember saying the same thing about Emma.
Yeah, and Emma's on the main roster. What the fuck, man?
Well, yeah, I know, but I was also coming from this. Oh, never mind. It doesn't fucking matter. Let's go. Let's move on. I'm gonna go with Sasha Banks. I'm with you guys. It would be a perfect opportunity to move up Charlotte, and there is question on where AJ is going to be after this pay-per-view. So, and Charlotte did get a fantastic reaction. Plus, she is Flair's daughter, so she might have a better opportunity to get up on the main roster. And I would love to see Paige versus Charlotte for the title.
And I would love to see Charlotte on a plane groping the stewardesses like her father.
I'm still envisioning the match between Bayley and Brock Lesnar. Bayley challenges for the title of Doctor of Hugonomics because Brock Lesnar set the freaking standard with those 16 German suplexes.
All right. So, so we talked about Charlotte debuting on Raw. I guess we can talk about potential additions. Just real quick, do you like any of these matches? Do you think that they would take place? Or is there another match that you would like to see? So the first one is Bull Dempsey versus Baron Corbin. I don't know if this is special worthy enough yet, but they seem to be building this rivalry of sorts, like who can get a win faster kind of thing, where they're both destroying their opponents. They've also been teasing Tyler Breeze versus various competitors like Marcus Louis and Mojo Rawley, but kind of inconsistent. But that seems to be somewhat of a focus. And then also Bayley versus Becky Lynch. So those are the three that I came up with. Do you like any of those matches, or is there another one you would like to see? Nick?
I could see a match involving Bull Dempsey and Baron Corbin. I would, at this point, I would almost imagine it to be some variant on Beat the Clock. Like, who can finish their match the fastest? And obviously at this point, it would be Baron Corbin, which I imagine then would lead into an actual feud between the two matches and whatnot. But, Breeze versus insert character here.
Right.
I could also see that. I want to say out of the two listed, Marcus Louis would be more likely, but then again, he did just basically vanish without a trace, so I don't know what to think there. And Bayley, I don't think she looked pretty jacked up when she came out to confront Sasha, so yeah, I don't see her being put into a match. If Becky Lynch is in a match, maybe she's fighting Alexa Bliss, which that'd be a pretty good match now I think about that. I really want that now.
But, the story being told doesn't necessarily involve Alexa Bliss. If they would do it, it would be Bayley versus Becky Lynch, just because of everything else that's involved right now. Yeah.
Actually, the match that would be more likely, I think, at this point would be Carmella versus Alexa Bliss.
Oh, yeah. That's another one.
Yeah.
That's a good one, too. Joe, what about you? Do you like any of these matches, or is there another match you would book?
Tyler Breeze against anybody I think would be good. Bayley versus Becky Lynch makes a good possibility. Yeah. I can't really think of anything that I'd want. I could actually see Tyler Breeze versus no, he's leaning more heel now. I was going to say with Tyson Kidd. Where's Tyson Kidd in all this? Because he's not really main roster, outside of escorting his wife and taking her praise.
Well, he did just tag team with Cesaro in the tag team
that's right.
turmoil match. So I don't know. Yeah, he's kind of jumping around. From the live chat, Blue is suggesting maybe Carmella versus Blue Pants. Best of 5 or something. I don't know. Have that again.
The Revenge of Kitty Pryde.
Yeah, I think out of any of these, Bayley versus Becky Lynch makes the most sense to me. Tyler Breeze versus either Mojo Rawley or Marcus Louis doesn't necessarily make. I mean, it makes sense for both of them, but it's just been so inconsistently built. I think Bayley versus Becky Lynch has been built well. Bull Dempsey versus Baron Corbin, I don't want to see just yet, because that means it's going to end in some capacity. Or maybe not, I don't know. I mean, they could do a screwy finish where, ends in a double count out or something. But what does that do for Baron Corbin? They've been building Baron Corbin pretty hard.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I don't know.
Now, we've mentioned them both separately, but what would you think about a tag match involving Tyler Breeze and Tyson Kidd? Maybe against Mojo Rawley and Marcus Louis.
I'd be down for that.
That's not a bad idea either. Yeah. No, that's a good thought. I'm into that. The major headline, though, that we really haven't talked about yet is the fact that Kevin Owens, aka Kevin Steen, is going to be debuting this event. So a lot of rumors of how it's going to happen, a lot of expectations of how it's going to happen. What do you guys think? How do you foresee his debut playing out? Do you think it's going to be an attack or some kind of interference with one of these matches? Do you think he's going to get a squash match, or is it going to be another Hideo Itami thing where he comes out and has an interview and then leaves?
I'm thinking I like the idea, and I thought maybe Nick was it you who posted this in the Facebook group that you could see him like attack Sami Zayn.
That was me.
That was you, Garvin?
Yeah.
Okay. Then, yeah, no, I like the idea of that. Kevin Owens attacking whoever's got the belt, be it Neville or Zayn. I would love to see him just come out, and then you may not get kill Steen kill, but you'll get either kill Owens kill or kill Kevin kill.
Yeah, it's with the way they built up with this last vignette, where he mentioned everybody that got called ahead of him, and he mentioned that Sami Zayn is his best friend. I have to imagine that if he comes out during the main event, or before, during, or after the main event, it would have to be to do something with Zayn, not Neville. Whether that means attacking him and costing the match, or attacking him post-match, or waiting till some future date to turn on Zayn. I don't know. There's just a lot of ways this thing could go down. It could even be he doesn't even face Zayn in any capacity until much later. But I am definitely looking forward to what's happening here. They've been building up to this really hard, and they've been pushing him. These vignettes are a little reminiscent of the way they kind of hinted at Sting coming back. So obviously they're putting a lot of stock into this, and I'm ready to see it unfold. I cannot wait.
So fantasy booking, like you said, Joe, my thought was it would be fantastic, and we're going to lead this into the world or the NXT Championship match. But my fantasy booking, knowing the background, knowing the history between Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, what I would do is I would have Sami Zayn win the NXT Championship and have Kevin Owens come out to congratulate him and then attack him to lead to the next title match or that feud for the title. So going into the NXT Championship, Sami Zayn versus Adrian Neville. Do you like that idea as far as Sami Zayn with that stipulation, or in general? Who do you see winning this match?
I gotta say Zayn at this point. Neville's held the belt a good long while, and Zayn's recent character development would basically be squandered if he didn't win. Like, what's the point of him finally showing his ruthless side, getting angry, and getting focused to take the belt if he just loses? It almost seems like they're what's the word I'm looking for? It almost seems like they're making it really obvious what the outcome is. So I almost want to second guess myself, but no, I think Zayn's gonna take it here finally.
Joe?
The only way Zayn loses is if Owens costs him the match. That's the only time, only instance. And then he could take that aggression. Like, I got this far, I almost had him, and you screwed me over, you're fucking dead. That is the only way I can foresee that happening. That being said, I think Zayn's going to win this one. I think if we're going to get any interaction between the two, it'll be post-match.
Yeah.
It's Zayn's time. We've been wanting to see him for so long, and it's time.
Yep.
Let's see what he can do with the belt, and go.
Yep. And we're all in agreement. So Sami Zayn wins the NXT Championship. Either way, it's going to be a fantastic match. They have built this very, very well. So overall, this entire card has been built very well. Also in the pre-show, which I think starts about a half an hour before the actual show starts on the network, Corey Graves is going to be making an official announcement about his future. So I don't necessarily know much about Corey Graves. I know there's a lot of hype about him. He got injured, so the only thing I could assume is that he's going to retire, at least from in-ring, like in an in-ring role. But I don't know. I don't know much about this. Do you know, Nick?
I like Corey Graves as a character, as a wrestler. He's very unorthodox with his style. I like his submission maneuver, his submission finisher, and the fact that they're talking up this announcement about his future, that makes me nervous, because it would really be a shame if he had his career cut short by injury. And he has gone through a lot of shit. He's had concussions. He's gone through other things like that. So I'm hoping against hope that this is an announcement that he's coming back to the ring. And if that's the case, I hope they debut him and keep him away from Neville, because what they used to love to do is throw those two together, and it was very much like listening to your favorite song on the radio. It's awesome for a while, but then they keep on playing it, and you start to hate it. That feud got to that point with me, and I hope they stay away from each other if Graves is coming back. But I'm hoping that Graves is coming back to wrestle, not to announce a retirement.
Yeah, the last time we saw Graves, I think, was in April. He suffered a concussion. He's been out since. There's been a lot of talk about him being done in the ring. However, at the same time, like, they put him in the WWE 2K15 game, actually showed that in the commercials a lot. So I don't know, man. I don't know what it's going to be, but I would imagine it's him retiring and moving on to do something else with WWE or NXT, because he is a good talent to have on mic, maybe as a manager, maybe as a authority type character. I don't know, something. I'm sure they can find something to do with him.
Now, I have absolutely no frame of reference on the 2K15 games. I never played any of them. Yeah. Do they have many NXT guys on there?
He's the only one that I saw featured.
Oh, that sounds kind of like a consolation for leaving.
Robert, you've been playing 2K15. He's in the game, right? I mean, I remember seeing him in the commercials and thinking, oh, that's kind of weird. Yeah. Okay. So Robert's saying yeah. So I don't know, but we'll see. But that's what we've got going on. So that's going to happen in the pre-show. Hopefully it's good news, or news that we can live with and not be too disappointed in. But we'll see. But overall, NXT Takeover should be an excellent event. So cannot wait.